Hello my dear children, welcome to our EVS class. So today let us begin a new chapter in EVS. We will be learning chapter 9, our natural resources. Children, in your worksheet it will be given as unit 3. Please write it as chapter 9. Okay, please make a small correction in your worksheet. So we will be learning chapter 9, our natural resources. Okay, so let us learn more about our natural resources, and in this class we will be learning about air, the sun and soil. Okay, these will be the topics that we are learning today. Okay, these are the topics that we will cover in this class. So let us begin the class for today. So when I tell you the term natural resources, or if you hear the term or if you hear the word nature, what all things comes to your mind? Can you just imagine a picture in your mind when I say nature? When I tell you the term nature, you must be imagining of a beautiful scenery, isn't it? You must be thinking of the landscapes, plants, the animals, the birds, isn't it? The sky, the blue sky, the sea or the ocean, isn't it? All these might be the things that just came to your mind when I told nature. Please imagine a picture of nature. Isn't it? Our nature is beautiful. Okay, so we are going to learn how we are using this nature. There are many things in our nature, isn't it? Everything is provided for our living in the nature itself. There are many things in our nature. So let us see what is natural resources. Okay, so as I said, children, can you see the picture over here? Here I have given a beautiful picture, isn't it? You can see a farm over here, then there is water, then you can see trees, isn't it? Then the sky, then you can see animals, then you can see plants, isn't it? All those things you can see in the nature. Okay, so everything that is there in the nature. Okay, can you just name a few things that are there in the nature? I have written the names of a few things on the board. Can you see those things? Yes, water is the, sunlight is the, okay, water, sunlight, isn't it? Air, soil, minerals, forest, isn't it? All those are some of the few things that you will find in nature, isn't it? It is present in the nature as such, isn't it? All these things that are present in nature are known as the gifts of nature. Why? Because the nature has given it to us as a gift, isn't it? So that we could use these gifts for our need, isn't it? We need to do many things in life. So we could use all these things from nature for our daily needs, isn't it? For example, water. Water is a natural resource. Okay, we use water in many ways. You will learn about that in the next section. Then, air, isn't it? Air is also a thing that is present in nature. Air is very essential for us, isn't it? It's essential for our living. Okay, it's essential for us to live. For the living things to live, they need air to breathe, isn't it? So, air is a natural resource. And why are these gifts of nature? I told you that whatever things that are present in nature is known as a gift of nature. We call it as a gift that is provided to us by the nature. Why? Because we don't have to pay for it, isn't it? It's present there as such, isn't it? So, it is just like a gift that is given to us. And these gifts of nature are known as natural resources. And when did it become a natural resource? When we use it for our daily need. Okay, these gifts, when we learned how to use these gifts. Okay, if you are given water, you can use water in many ways, isn't it? You must have heard about how electricity is produced from water. We use water for transportation, isn't it? Like that, when human beings, so when man learned how to use these gifts for their daily needs, then it became a resource. So we can say that a natural resource. Okay, here I have shown the picture. A natural resource is anything that is present in nature as such. Okay, when we use it for our need, that becomes a resource. The things that is present in nature, we are using it for our need. Then it becomes a resource for us when it satisfies our needs, when it is satisfying our need, or when we use it for our need, we call that as a natural resource. Okay, so all these terms, all these things that I have written on the board are examples of natural resources. Okay, these are the things that are present in nature and we use it for our need. So can you just tell me the examples of some natural resources? You can look in the board, look in this display and say, yes, water is a natural resource, sunlight is a natural resource, air is a natural resource, soil is a natural resource, minerals are natural resources, then forest are natural resources. Okay, because there are many things from all these that we could use, isn't it? We can use it in one form or the other. Okay, so now let us learn more about the uses of each of these natural resources. So in this class you will learn about the natural resource air, then you will learn about the sunlight as a natural resource, and then soil. Okay, all these are natural resources. So let us learn about air as a natural resource. Okay. So as I said, natural resources are things that people find in nature and they use it. It's present in nature as such and we use it. Okay, we use it for our needs. So let us see what is the uses of air. You know that air is present around us, isn't it? So the air as a natural resource is used for many things. Okay, can you just tell me one use of air? In the very beginning of EVS in chapter living things and non-living things, you learned that living things need air to live, isn't it? They need air to breathe. So the air, we need it to live, isn't it? The living things can only live only if air is present. They will use the oxygen in the air to breathe, isn't it? Then can you name some more examples? Can you see a picture over here? See, I have shown the picture of a windmill. Some of you must have seen it when you travel from one place to another. If you had traveled, you must have seen these windmills in some places, isn't it? So these windmills, wind is also a form of air, isn't it? Windmills use the energy that they get from wind. This is a picture of the windmill to produce electricity. That is, they will generate. Electricity is generated using the wind, using the energy from the wind. So we can say that it is used to generate electricity. Then living things like us need oxygen from the air to breathe, isn't it? We use the gas oxygen that is present in air to breathe. Then what about plants? Yes, plants use carbon dioxide that is there in the air, isn't it? They use carbon dioxide, they use this carbon dioxide, and what do? They prepare the food, isn't it, for their growth. They prepare food for their growth. They use carbon dioxide in the air and prepare food for their growth. Then we also use air to fill certain items, isn't it? Like the tires, isn't it? Tires or tire tubes of vehicles. We fill air in that. The balloons, isn't it? We fill air in that. Then the football, we used to fill air in that. Air is used to fill football. So like that we use air in many things. And if you want to burn something, there should be air, isn't it? Only in presence of air, only in presence of oxygen, things could be burnt, isn't it? If you want to burn a piece of paper, we need the presence of oxygen. Oxygen should be there. So we can say that air as a natural resource is useful in many ways. We need air to live. Living things need air to live. We need oxygen from the air to breathe as well as to burn things. It is needed for burning. Then from the air, from the wind energy, wind is also a form of air, isn't it? Wind energy is used to generate electricity. That is by the use of windmills. Then the oxygen that is present in the air, I told you we breathe, and carbon dioxide that is present in the air is used by plants to prepare food. Then air is also used to fill tire tubes, balloons, then football, etc. These are a few uses of natural resources. Is it clear, children? Now let us learn about another natural resource. Okay, the sun. Okay, you all know what a sun is, isn't it? Have you seen sunrise? Yes. So it is warm, isn't it? It makes you very pleasant. So we are going to learn about sun. The sun. See, I have given the picture of a sunrise. See, sun. You know that if you just stand under the sunlight, you will feel the heat, isn't it? You will feel a warmth. If it's in the morning, you will feel that warmth. And when you see sunrise, you could have also noticed the light, isn't it? The light that is spreading in our environment, isn't it? So the sun gives us heat and light energy. Okay. Heat and light, you all know, even if you just stand under the sunlight, you know that there is light as well as there is heat. That is known as solar energy. The energy that we get from the sun is known as solar energy. Okay, because there is heat and light. It is the heat and light energy, and that energy that we get from the sun is known as solar energy. Okay, and you know that sun is a star. If you have learned about the solar system, you must have learned that the sun is a big star. Okay, it is a star itself that is present nearest to our planet Earth. It is a big star that is present nearest to our planet Earth. Okay, then what are the uses of this solar energy? I told you that the energy that we get from the sun is known as solar energy. It is useful in many ways. Okay, it is useful to us in many ways. Just as air, for the life to exist, there should be sunlight also, isn't it? There should be sunlight also. And the solar energy is used to make food by the plants. You have learned the process known as photosynthesis, isn't it? How plants prepare food. In that process, they will use water, then they will use sunlight as well as carbon dioxide, isn't it? So sunlight is needed by the plants to prepare food. And using the solar energy, we used to light the streets. There are solar lamps. Okay, solar lamps which work on solar energy. Then we use solar energy for cooking. Then we use solar energy for heating water or to heat things. Then we use solar energy to generate electricity. You must have seen that in our school itself, isn't it? How the solar panels are kept, and using that we generate electricity. Okay, so here I have shown the picture. See, using the sunlight, the plants will prepare food. That means using the solar energy itself. Then solar energy is used, if you look at this picture that is shown over here. If you look at this picture that is shown over here, see, the solar energy is falling on the panels and it is used to generate electricity. It is used to generate electricity. And children, there is also a vitamin that is produced with the help of solar energy. In our body, there is one vitamin known as vitamin D. Okay, you will do it when you look at the exercises. You could see that question. Vitamin D in our body, it's a type of vitamin that is present, and that vitamin is produced with the help of the solar energy from the sun. So is it clear, children? So sun is also an example of natural resource. Okay, the sun is also a natural resource, and the energy that we get from the sun in the form of heat and light is known as solar energy. We use the solar energy for many things. I have mentioned it on the board. To make food, the plants use it to make food. Then we use solar energy to light streets. Then we use solar energy to cook, to heat water, and to generate electricity. These are few uses of solar energy. And children, I hope it is clear. In your worksheet, there is an activity given in your worksheet. Activity 3. Okay. A column is given, a table is given. Inside that column or inside that box, you have to stick pictures of any 4 objects that work on solar energy, which is using solar energy, and you are working that object. You have to stick pictures of any 4 objects that work using solar energy. Object means you know that it is a non-living thing. You have to stick pictures of that. 2 examples I have given. Okay, you must have seen the solar fans, solar powered fans, and the calculators which work on solar energy. Nowadays there are many things that work on solar energy. Okay, there are even cars and buses which are run using solar energy. Then you must have seen the heaters which work on solar energy. Then you must have seen torch or a light or an emergency lamp which works on solar energy. Some might even have these kind of objects in your house. Okay, so children, please stick pictures of any 4 objects in that activity. In your worksheet, please stick the picture and write under that. After sticking the picture, write what it is. If you are sticking the picture of this calculator, for example, you have to write under that solar calculator. Like that you have to stick the pictures of 4 objects. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now let us learn about another natural resource. Okay, another example of natural resource is soil. Okay, soil. Another example of natural resource that you are going to learn is soil. Okay, you must have all seen soil, isn't it? Soil is also a natural resource, and this soil is formed when large or big rocks break down. The large rocks are broken down into small pieces. Okay, and what are the things that will break down this rock? It might be water, it might be the heat of the sun, or it might be the wind. Okay, all these will fall on the rock. Okay, and it will break down, will cause the rock to break down into break into smaller pieces. So that's how soil is formed. Soil is formed from large rocks which are broken into small pieces by the effect or by the action of wind, water or sunlight or heat. Okay, for all these things large rocks are broken down and it forms soil. Okay, what is the soil that we see on the ground? Okay, and what are the uses of this soil? We know that soil acts as a foundation, isn't it? Over the soil we are building buildings, roads and all the other things. It acts as a foundation. Then it is needed for plants to grow, isn't it? Plants are absorbing the nutrients that are present in the soil for their growth. Then it filters water, isn't it? Then fertile soil is needed for crops. Crops means the plants that you eat as food. Okay, like the wheat or the rice. Okay, all those crops that we grow on the field need fertile soil. Those are some of the uses of the soil. Okay, so children, and at the same time if you look at this picture you can see that in the soil there are many living things that live. You must have seen small organisms like the worms, isn't it? Then there are organisms or living things that we cannot see with the eyes like the bacteria. Okay, like the bacteria or the viruses. Then there are things like the worms that live in soil. Then there are also animals that make burrows, isn't it? And live in that, in the soil. So you can say that soil is a home for many animals. So children, please mark these points in your worksheet. Only a few points are there in your worksheet. You only have to study that. Okay, you only have to study those points. I just mentioned some extra points. Okay, so you have to learn how soil is formed. You have to underline that sentence. Then also learn two uses of soil. Okay, two function of soil. So children, in this class you have learned about what is a natural resource. Okay, you learned that natural resource are things that are present in nature and we use it for our daily need. You learned three examples of natural resource: air, sunlight and soil. Okay, so children, I hope that it is clear. Please read the worksheet well, underline the important points, whatever is mentioned on the board, please underline those points. Then do the activities that are given in your worksheet. So thank you children, meet you in the next class. Thank you.